All right, let's talk about a game between two huge Eastern Conference rivals. So yeah, the Cleveland Cavaliers got a big win over the Philadelphia 76ers, but honestly, the story of the night, the thing everyone is talking about, is James Harden. He hit a level of greatness that puts him in some seriously rare company. So let's break down how one single milestone really just defined the entire night. It all boils down to this one number, 29,000. Just let that sink in for a second. In the whole entire history of the NBA, a league just jam-packed with legends, what does a number this massive, what does it truly mean? Well, it means you've just joined one of the most exclusive clubs in all of sports. With a simple free throw in the first quarter, James Harden became only the ninth player ever to cross that 29,000-point line. We are talking about a Mount Rushmore of scorers, and Harden just etched his name right up there with them. Incredible. So yeah, let's unpack that. This historic achievement, it wasn't just some little footnote in the box score at the end of the game. Oh no, it was the headline. It was the thing that set the tone for everything that came after. You know, to really get what the 29,000-point club is all about, you gotta understand it's about so much more than just raw talent. It's a monument to unbelievable consistency and longevity. For Harden, this single moment represents 17 seasons of showing up, night after night after night, and just being an absolutely elite scorer. And get this, he didn't just hit the milestone and then, coast for the rest of the game. No way. He finished with 21 points, and he absolutely exploded for 9 of those in the third quarter, which was the exact moment the Cavaliers just blew the game wide open. So in other words, his historic performance wasn't just for the record books. It was absolutely critical to getting the W. But as huge as Harden's night was, it was still just one piece of a much bigger story. And that story was total team dominance by the Cavs. So let's take a look at how the entire roster pitched in for this huge win. I mean, the box score right here really tells you everything you need to know. The Cavaliers just applied this steady pressure right from the jump, outscoring the 76ers in each of the first 3 quarters. But look at that third quarter. That was the knockout blow. A 31-22 run that basically just broke Philadelphia's spirit and put the game on ice for good. And this chart right here, this proves it. It wasn't just the Harden show. It was a total team effort, a symphony of scoring. Keon Ellis came off the bench and provided a huge spark with 19 points. Then you had Donovan Mitchell and Evan Mobley adding 17 and 15 themselves. I mean, when you have 4 different guys scoring at that level, you become almost impossible to defend. And this win, it wasn't some fluke. It was a statement. With this victory, the Cavaliers completed a 4-0 season sweep of the 76ers. They didn't just beat their rivals, they have completely owned them all season long, and this game was the big exclamation point on top. Now, to be fair, we do have to look at the other side of the court. For the 76ers, this was an uphill battle from the very first second, and you really can't tell the full story of this game without understanding why they were in such a tough spot. Just look at who was sitting on the bench in street clothes. We're not talking about a couple of role players here. The 76ers were without their top 4 scorers, including their all-star guard, Tyrese Maxey. I mean, that is just a devastating blow for any team in this league. Okay, let's put a number on that loss. 86.9. That is the combined average points per game from just those 4 missing guys. You take nearly 87 points of offense off the board for any team, and honestly, it's kind of a miracle they even managed to score 101 points at all. So what a night. A historic performance for Harden, a dominant win for the Cavs. But in a conference as tight as the East, every single game sends these ripples through the standings. So let's zoom out and see what this result really means for the playoff picture. While this result really helps Cleveland solidify its spot as a top 4 team in the East, gives them a little bit of breathing room. But for Philadelphia, it's a completely different story. They've slipped all the way down to 8th. That puts them squarely in that super dangerous play-in tournament zone. Every loss from here on out is going to hurt a lot. And you have to love this. The schedule makers have given us a real gift because the drama is just getting started. So after a quick home game against Memphis, look what's happening on Wednesday. An immediate rematch. The Cavaliers have to travel to Philadelphia, giving a wounded and probably pretty angry 76ers team a chance for instant revenge on their home court. Which, of course, leaves us with the million-dollar question. Was this game a fluke? Something that only happened because of injuries? Or was this a true preview of the hierarchy in the East? When these two teams meet again,
maybe at full strength in the playoffs? Who really has the edge? I guess that's something we're just going to have to wait to find out.